Hello and welcome to Elite Geospatial. Today, quickly, I want to show you how to open a new project in Arcgis Pro. But before we get into opening the new project in Arcgis Pro, I just want to do some kind of show you some illustration on the difference between the ArcGIS desktop and that of the ArcGIS Pro. All right. Now, on ArcGIS desktop, once you launch the software and get it open, you can easily just start work as far as everything you have is within a folder. Now, in this instance, you have to create the folder, put every work inside, and then you bring the work from inside, so it shows that the origin. And then also, while you're working, you also need to be defining where this work will be. That is, you're going to be defining the environment, except otherwise, you go under this geoprocessing and define environment of the work flow. All right, you define the workspace. Now you see the workspace by default here for this project is on the default GIS database. But if you do not define this, everything you'll be doing will just directly be going to the default folder. And you can avert that by setting your current or your work folder, both the scratch and then the current workspace, to the geodatabase you're working on. So this is how they're not together like per se. That is, when you open, you start work. First thing you need to do, if you open, after you've opened the map document, then you either go to geoprocessing and then change the environment, the workspace, so that everything you're doing will have to correspond with the folder or the GIS geodatabase you have created. All right. But now let's go to ArcGIS Pro and see some of those little difference. All right. Now, when you launch ArcGIS Pro, this is how it's going to come, which is a bit similar with what we have here when we launch this, because it has some default values that it allows us to say, okay, we want to go back to the old project, or want to use a new project, or you just want to cancel it and start afresh, just like we are now. But the ArcGIS Pro has this interface, which is called like a ribbon kind of interface, something like that. Now, first thing you're going to see the map, you'll see the catalog, you'll see the global scene, and then the local scene. Now the map, which this one represents the Arc map that we all know, because in ArcGIS Pro now, everything has been synced into one software, not like the desktop, which if you search for the software, you see this catalog separately, there's Arc map separately, and then if you add C, you see Arc scene. If you add G, you see Arc globe. You understand? So the package has been merged into one, such that anyone you want to do at any time, you just select. Even when you are inside, you can still select to switch to a map that's either the global scene or the local scene, or this one represent the Arc scene we have on Arc map, and then this one represent the Arc globe, and then this one represent the catalog for managing and all of that. All right. So we also have where you recent project, which was one of the things I just showed in that side. Now the recent project is what you've worked on maybe a few minutes later, yesterday, a year ago. Those comes at your recent project. And then start without a template is another thing. Now, opening other projects, if the project you're looking for isn't here, because if I don't like this, I don't want these things to be here, so I'll easily just remove it, so nothing will be found there. If I want to bring my previous project, I'll have to open and bring them in. So you can see these are the previous project, my project 1, my project 2, my project 3, down to project 6. And all of these were saved in a work folder called document, in a folder document, and then in ArcGIS, and then all of that. Now, which means if you just open a new map, which is like our arc map, you will just go to the default. Everything you do will just go to the default folder. All right. So now, what is this project? So project in ArcGIS Pro is just the initiation of a new GIS workspace, as it allows you to start a new project with specific settings, data connections, and potentially templates. And it creates a new, ArcMap or ArcGIS Desktop uses the .msd, but the ArcGIS Pro using the .aprx file to store this project. All right. So what it does is that it allows you to have some settings. So let's click on the map and see what comes up. Now, the first thing is a new project, right? Then we have, it's showing us my project 7 because the last I showed was project 6. So I'm just going to change it to maybe something. I'm going to change it to, sorry, my keyboard is not feeling fine. So I'm relying on the on-screen keyboard. Sorry for that. So I'm just going to name this project. Let's say this project is Map of Taraba. Okay, so that will be the project name. Now the next thing on is the location. Now this is where I was showing you on the ArcGIS desktop. I told you that in that one, after you start the project, then you either go to geoprocessing and then go to environment and change. But here they've included the environment for you. Okay, now the environment has been included for you where you change the location to which your project will be saved. So inside this project, you can now start getting a direction by saving everything there. All right, but now let's look at it. I'm going to change this, go to a folder, and I'm going to change this, take it to my local disk where all my works are. So I'm just going to save this as work. This is, put it here. So everything I will do regarding this particular project will be saved in my local disk. Now, we're allowing it to create a folder for this local project. It will create a folder, then put everything you're doing inside in this location. So let's click on OK. So it's creating a project. Now a project has been opened. When normally it opens a map, a new map, it comes up with a global base map. But because I'm not connected to the internet at the moment, that's why this is showing a kind of click to repair symbol, all of that. That's because as far as once I'm connected to internet, this will just load in and you'll see the base map appeared on it. But that is not what we're trying to do right now. We just want to create a new project and we look at some of the similarities or the difference between it and the previous one. So now when you come on the folder, what you will see first will be what? The map of Taraba. And that map of Taraba, a GDB has also been created. Just from what? Creating a project. So these are the similarities, the difference between the ArcGIS desktop and that of the ArcMap. So in the ArcMap, you create the folder you want to, put all the things you want to, you still create the geodatabase. But here it does create for us a geodatabase automatically. So you can populate this geodatabase, add other things you want to add to this folder, and continue what you are doing. So it also has what, I don't know what this is. It created something like more like a toolbox, which I don't know, but I believe you understand the concept of all I'm trying to say. I'm trying to bit explain these things because since migration from ArcGIS Desktop to ArcGIS Pro It's a bit of technical like that, so but it's still easy once you know how to use the ArcGIS desktop. So a walkthrough video like the ones I provide will help you, give you a guide to successfully migrate, so that you can also enjoy what we've been enjoying from S3. So thank you for tuning into this video. Don't forget to always like, share, comment, and I'll see you in the next video because I love you. Bye bye.